Hi, I'm Julie Schor, bonding-oriented lactation consultant. The reason why I call myself a bonding-oriented lactation consultant, because for me, mother-infant bonding is more important than anything. It's about the mothering, not about the milk. But for those of you who are producing milk, sometimes we have moments where we feel that we don't have enough milk, or that we want to increase our supply, and that's when you might have a galactagogue. A galactagogue is something that you will ingest in order to increase your milk supply. They're medical galactagogues, but I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm going to be teaching you my secret recipe for what I call galactaballs. Galactaballs are these yummy cookie dough balls that I've been making for years. I went through a period where I sold them, so I've had a lot of success with them. Moms say they've really helped them to increase their milk supply. Now, if you're having problems with your milk supply, this is not the first thing you do. First, you get help. You'd consult with a lactation consultant or nursing counselor and try and figure out what the problem is. But if you ever feel you need a supplemental boost, that's when I would have the galactagogues that I call galactaballs. The first ingredient is oats. You want to use a whole oat. They're going to be more nutritious than the fast cook ones that you might find in the supermarket. But you want to start with the oats, 2.5 cups of oats. I like them when the consistency is less rough, so I put mine in the Ninja. And from that I made an oat flour. So that's the first thing we're going to work with is oat flour, 2.5 cups. If I were baking these balls, I might change the recipe a bit and use 1.5 cups of the oat flour and another cup of something like spelt flour or another nutritious flour, wholemeal flour. But I don't do that with the cookie dough because you'll be eating these raw. And when you have raw cookies, you don't want to have also uncooked flour in them. The next ingredient that I want to use is the yeast. Brewer's yeast. This is not nutritional yeast, this is brewer's yeast. Together with the oats, they have been used forever in the world for increasing the milk supply. This is 1 tablespoon of brewer's yeast, so I'm going to add that. The next thing I want to do is prepare flax. Flax is used like you might use an egg, but again, I don't want to use an egg in this recipe. First of all, because I want to keep it vegan, but also because we don't want to be eating eggs that aren't cooked. So I use the substitute flax seeds. You want to grind them first if they're not already ground, and then you want to add to the flax seeds, this is 1 tablespoon of flax, and I add to it 3 tablespoons of water and mix it. And then I'm going to put it for about 15 minutes in the refrigerator. Half a teaspoon of salt. I like using Himalayan salt because it's full of minerals and it really gives the best flavor in anything that I cook. The next ingredient is cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is used to increase flow. So if you like cinnamon, use a lot of it. If you don't like cinnamon at all, then obviously you don't have to use it. But because it's not all about the milk production, it's also about the milk flow, I really, really encourage you to add that 1 teaspoon at least minimum of cinnamon. I actually really like cinnamon, so I don't have a problem with that. 1 teaspoon. and mix it well. You might want to do this whole thing in the Ninja because then the ingredients are going to mix a bit better. And then I'm just going to be patient with myself and mix it well. And these are the dry ingredients. 15 minutes have passed and I am now ready to prepare the wet ingredients. So one sec. And I'm going to take out these lovely flax seeds. And the first ingredient of the wet ingredients is coconut oil. Get the best coconut oil that you can get. Be careful though if you have problems with cholesterol because it's not a great oil to use in cholesterol, in which case this Galactaballs recipe won't be great for you because this is the kind of oil we want to use. We want something that's going to solidify. We're going to place them in the freezer and then when you take them out of the freezer to eat them, they're going to be like really, really creamy. So this is half a glass of, or half a cup of an organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. And you're going to add to that a half a cup of brown sugar or anything else, any other sweetener that you like to use. So this is a half a cup. You have to sweeten it a bit. Oh, the oats actually have a really natural sweetness, so you can use less if you don't want them to be too sweet. And now I'm going to add the flax, which have been solidifying in the refrigerator. Makes kind of a, it's supposed to be like eggy kind of consistency, like a fresh egg. So, and the vanilla, which is the last ingredient. Make sure to use a good vanilla, a natural one, not one that is synthetic. Makes a huge difference. Any kind of natural vanilla. Now, you want to add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. And then comes, of course, the fun bit, which is actually making the balls. Some moms like to add chocolate chips at this point. You can also put in nuts. You can grind walnuts or pecans, really anything else that you like to add. And mix. This is so much fun. This is like therapy. It's the best. And now once you've mixed all of the ingredients of your dough, you're going to want to find a plate to put them on. I have this lovely Moroccan plate I've been waiting to use. And make, I think it's important to have small balls because then they're going to be easier for you to just take one and eat it as opposed to having a larger one. I would suggest that you have a few of these a day. Especially in the hours that you're feeling a bit tired, you felt like you haven't eaten well, because this is super, super nutritious. Again, we're talking about whole oats and flax is also omega, and we're talking about a really, really good oil, this coconut oil, and the cinnamon, which is really good for your milk flow. So if you add chocolate to it, you're going to be adding serotonin. So that's also really, really positive. You want to get a dark chocolate for that. I suggest that you put these balls in the freezer. And then each day you can take out a few and let them defrost a little bit. You don't even have to let them defrost a lot. They're so delicious, fun to eat. It's a real treat. And not only do you want to have a galactagogue, but you want something that you feel pampered with. And this is the best. Please let me know if you tried the recipe. I'd like to hear your comments. I also want to know if you added anything additional that made them even more yummy aside from the dark chocolate and the nuts. And I also want to know how it affected your milk supply. Did you feel when you were eating them that you were being nourished? Did you feel your breasts getting a little bit tingly? I get all kinds of reactions to Galactaballs, and I'm so curious to get some more feedback. Please be in touch. Thank you so much.